For this show, I really wanted to explore the complexities of memory and nostalgia, especially in relation to a connection to my parents' homelands, especially in Somalia and India, a longing of home that can bring both grief and joy. So what does it look like to essentially evoke this idea of the bittersweet? I wanted to evoke contrasting themes between haunting and healing, and a yearning that is woven into domestic spaces, blankets, and the bedroom, which allude to both nightmares and childhood innocence. And so it starts off with a home, and each space is a designated space: living room, washroom, bathroom. This is the entrance to my home I live in, 53B. The first quote that initiated this series was a poem by Wasan Shire in her poem titled Home, and she talks about the Somali refugee and migrant experience of forcibly having to flee your native country, and she describes it as no one would leave home unless home chased you. And I was thinking, well, if this is described as the first chase, my experience is rather the second chase. My parents had to flee, but I was born and raised in Canada, and so what's the experience of living in these white spaces and wanting that longing to run back to the homeland? And I described it as the second chase, that longing to connect to family, community, and country. And so all of these works relate to my own experiences in creating imagining alternative futures, allowing space for mourning, remembering and grieving, where I place myself, family members, departed members, ancestral figures in these dreamlike landscapes where they can heal and connect to their inner child, as I view it as a path to healing. And so this starts with a painting that references Zayla. So this is I found from an archive image of Zayla here, where it's written in here, and it starts with a black and white image, and you see the port, and I've painted myself and my brother kind of as standing in front of it as a landscape and wanting to view Somalia through vibrant colors. And so I added these camels because I had heard someone mentioning that camels is like a symbol for like a unified Somalia. And so yeah, so that's for this piece. This piece I was looking at the Somali headrest, the buttkin, and I was wanting to relate it to my own generation's headrest, which is like a Camp Rock pillow. And I was interested how during my research, I found they would incise haunting buttkin. That's how you pronounce it. And in my research, I found that they would incise like a scorpion and a snake to ward off danger for the sleeper. So I thought that related to my own research, exploring the haunting and the healing. So I did another scorpion here. And here I have my family sleeping on a bed, and this like departed soul ancestral figure carrying this headrest and connecting to childhood and rest. And here we have another a departed soul connecting through this mirror of desire and looking at their own reflection, but the current family members are appearing in the mirror, and so they're connecting through their childhood, but also connecting with family members. And another mirror painting here, which is called Destination Djibouti, and you see a little bit in the background my aunt Edo and my cousin Hanan, and this is like her old school in Djibouti. And yeah, I was thinking about the privilege of the accessing home, how it is a privilege to connect into home and running back to the homeland, the accessibility of it all as well, and yeah. So this is a whole bedroom. You have the window, the bed, canopy, so really kind of inserting these childhood themes and references, the ponies and the washroom and the sink. This is a portrait of myself, but my Edo told me that it looked exactly like her. So the themes of family are constant in the paintings and the self-portraiture as well. And this is another painting with my grandpa on my mother's side. And he was born in Uganda, I think, and originally from Gujarat, but his grandparents or his parents migrated to Africa, and so I was thinking about his own relationship to Canada and my relationship to Canada. I also wrote the quote, "No one would leave home unless someone chased you." And here we have yarn drawings of a shower, a toilet. You done? Thank you.